You ever notice how some acronyms just pop up everywhere? And I mean, in totally different worlds? Well, today we're going to tackle a big one, LS. This thing is having a full-blown identity crisis, and we're here to figure it out.
Okay, so let's just get right to it. What do you think LBS stands for? Go on, take a guess. An answer probably popped into your head, right? But maybe you've also got that little nagging feeling like, wait, haven't I heard that used for something totally different? Well, guess what? You're absolutely right.
See, the thing is, the meaning of LBS completely changes depending on who you ask. Seriously, the answer you'd get from, say, an electrical engineer is going to be worlds apart from what a software developer would tell you. It's all about context.
All right, so it's time to pull back the curtain. Let's reveal the two big and wildly different personalities that are hiding behind these three little letters.
And there it is. On one side, you've got location-based service. Think of your maps, ride-sharing apps, all that stuff. But on the other side, it's a load break switch, a super important piece of equipment in electrical grids. I mean, two totally separate universes sharing the same name. So the real question is, how did both of them end up evolving to become smart? Okay, first up, let's dive into the one that you and I use pretty much every single day, location-based services. This is the tech that went from just, getting you from point A to point B to now basically predicting what you want before you even think to ask for it.
So, at its heart, a location-based service is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's any app or tool that uses where you are, your geographical data, to help you out with something. Simple enough, right? But the real story, the cool part, is how we went from the old-school, conventional version to the smart stuff we have today.
And check this out, this is where the big tech leap happened. The old conventional LBS, think of those first car GPS units. They relied almost completely on GPS, which, yeah, it was great when you were on the open road, but the second you drove into a parking garage or walked into a shopping mall, signal gone, it just fell apart. Smart LBS totally fixes that. It's way smarter, blending GPS with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth signals to create this seamless experience whether you're inside or outside. And this is where the whole behavior of the tech changes. The old LBS was what we'd call reactive. It just sat there waiting for you. You had to pull out your phone, open the app, and type, "Where's the nearest coffee shop?" But a smart LBS, it's proactive. It's paying attention. It learns your habits and might just ping your phone with a coupon for your favorite coffee spot as you're walking by, without you even thinking about it. It's literally trying to anticipate what you need.
Okay, deep breath. Let's do a complete 180. We're leaving the comfy world of apps and smartphones and stepping into the world of high-voltage electricity. It's time to meet our second LBS, the load break switch.
So, what on earth is that? Well, think of a load break switch as a massive, heavy-duty safety switch for the power grid. It's a physical piece of hardware that lets engineers safely cut the flow of electricity to a specific area. Why? So they can do repairs or, prevent a much bigger problem. It's one of those fundamental tools that keeps our lights on.
And believe it or not, the evolution here is just as dramatic as it was with the maps. A conventional switch is totally mechanical. I mean, a technician has to physically drive out to the site and pull a giant lever. But a smart LBS? Nah, you can control it from miles and miles away, right from a smartphone or a tablet. For speed and especially for safety, this is an absolute game changer. Let's just walk through how this would actually work. Picture this. A big storm is rolling in. An operator, sitting safely in a control room, gets an alert on their device, a power surge. Now, instead of sending a crew out into that dangerous weather, they just open an app, tap a button, and remotely, that switch is deactivated. The problem is isolated, a potential massive outage is avoided, and it all happens in seconds. And here is the other huge difference. A conventional switch is basically dumb. It's blind. It can't tell you a thing. You have no idea if it's overheating or if it's under too much strain until something goes wrong. But a smart switch, it's constantly talking. It's feeding back all this data, temperature, how much energy is flowing, its own health. It gives engineers the power to see a problem developing before it turns into a total disaster. Okay, so let's pause for a second. We've got two completely different things here, right? A software service and a big piece of industrial hardware. And yet, as they both became smart, they followed the exact same playbook. So, what's the common thread that ties them together?
Well, it really boils down to this four-part recipe for smart tech. First, you give it senses. That's the continuous monitoring part. Then you give it arms and legs, the ability to act. That's remote control and automation.
Next, you give it a brain to process information. That's data analysis and prediction. And finally, you give it a voice so it can talk to other systems. And that's integration. That's the formula. That's how you make almost anything smart.
And hey, just when you thought we had this all wrapped up, time for a bonus round. There's actually a third, kind of niche meaning. In the world of telecom, a smart LB has nothing to do with data or power. It's actually a piece of hardware, a conduit body with a really gentle curve specifically designed to protect fragile fiber optic cables from breaking. So even here, smart just means a better, more thoughtful design.
So there you have it. We've seen this exact same pattern, adding data, connectivity, automation, play out in completely different fields. Now let's bring this whole idea a little closer to home. So here's the big takeaway. Smart isn't some kind of magic. It's a predictable process, a pattern. You take a regular conventional tool, doesn't matter if it's a map or a giant electrical switch, and you add layers. You give it senses, you give it a brain, and you give it the ability to act. That is the transformation.
And that really just leaves us with one final question for you. I want you to look around wherever you are right now. Your coffee mug, your shoes, your backpack. Following this exact pattern we just talked about, what's the next normal, everyday, dumb object in your life that's about to get a smart upgrade? Really makes you think, doesn't it?